And we're going to kick things off with the front page of the Daily Mail. Dan, what is this all about?
This is a good fun one where we're just wasting money on people's feelings here. Treat all patients as gender neutral, the NHS doctors are told. The Health Secretary is angry at taxpayers' funded guide that tells medics don't use pronouns until the patient has confirmed them. Steve Barclay last night ordered an urgent investigation into new guidelines that tell NHS staff to treat all patients as gender neutral. So if you're going to the doctors or you're going into a hospital, they can't presume your gender. Right. And if you're in between appointments as well, if you come in one day and you tell them that you identify as a man, they're not meant to presume your gender again. I mean...
Well, even if the same person?
Even the same person. I mean, like, imagine if Sam Smith, for instance, was to go to the hospital, all the doctors, they ain't going to know what's going on from time to time.
Very few people do, Dan.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a crazy situation, waste of money. Researchers were paid £164,000 of government money, and, it's mental.
There's two issues here, isn't there? I mean, firstly, you know, pronouns are used in place of a noun. They shorten conversations, they make life a lot easier. If you're going to have to just be using the patient's name all the time without he or she. And this article says you shouldn't even say Mr. or Mrs., which is polite, and you need that sort of bedside manner. Nick, the problem with this as well, of course, is that of all people, doctors and medical practitioners probably need to know which sex you are. I would have thought.
It would help, yeah. I mean, they get hilarious guidance here where it says they should keep a straight face and constant tone when quizzing patients about their sexual orientation, and they should practice with a trusted colleague if they're concerned they may struggle to conceal surprise. It's sort of training them how to act, really, rather than be doctors. Inevitably, Stonewall are involved. They've written an introduction which says how great this guide is. No shock there. It's another one of these examples of a minister or a politician just having no control over what actually happens. So Steve Barclay's furious, but why has it happened? They seem to have no control over the sort of woke blob, or in this case, the woke NHS.
I think that's a very good point. I mean, a lot of this stuff has happened behind closed doors. That's why no one's seen it happen.
Right.
It's been sort of approved and rubber-stamped, and even figures in the government haven't really seen why this is happening or how expensive it is. I mean, you said, Dan, how much money they're spending on this stuff. You'd think that the money should be spent on, you know, like dialysis machines and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, imagine how the nurses that want the pay rises feel when this money's getting wasted on this sort of stuff.
That is a very good point.
And it's amazing because the good thing about it is that it's on the front page now of a major newspaper, so people are waking up to this. And, you know, Sturgeon's gone because of this trans madness and other things. This maybe it'll start to fall apart as people become more aware. It's saying we could have spent the money on, you know, ambulances. We could have just thrown it into a big bin and it would be less destructive, because this is actively destructive.
That's right. I mean, my only concern is because it's on the front of the Daily Mail, a lot of people will dismiss it as all just right-wing nonsense. This actually isn't anything to do with left or right. You know, this is common sense.
Common sense.
Which transcends both of those things, I would have thought.